For this week's Car and Driver Spotlight, I'm here with Jamie Madison, the current point leader in the street class division. Now, Jamie, how so far have you been able to stay so consistent in the street class, a division that has the most cars, the most round, and so far you've been on the podium 5 times this season?
Probably mostly luck, racing the right people at the right time, getting the right brakes at the right time for the most part.
It's a little bit more than that, though, just because you've got to make sure you're getting down the track at that same dial-in each week. Have you just kind of figured out what the car's capable of and been able to hit that mark almost every run?
Not really. It's been kind of a big-time guess a lot of the times, especially in the first round. As the night goes on, you seem to be able to get a better handle on it, but sometimes if we don't have a cool down, then it does make it a little more difficult if we're running late and round robbing, and it makes it a little harder, but usually first round's the toughest.
You got to make sure you're getting past that opponent so you don't have to buy back in and then hope your night goes a little bit deeper.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. I don't want to jinx myself, but we haven't had to buy in yet this year. We've been able to get through all the first rounds so far, but that's a tall order. It's a tough task. I mean, there's so many great drivers, like you said, and so many cars that it's a tremendous amount of luck.
Let's turn the attention to your car in this case, a Fox body Ford Mustang. I do love the looks of these things. For the street class, these cars have to be street legal, and they're not like other cars you'd see in, say, the modified class that have a lot of adjustments in terms of racing equipment. Was this a car that you've had on the road before, and do you still drive it around town when it's not here at the track?
Yeah, actually, I don't really run it around on the street. I just kind of save it to come over here, but I have run it around on the street. That's what's nice about it, is that you can do more than just one thing with it, and it is driven to the track, it's driven home, it's not trailered, and it's full interior, stock motor, basically everything in it stock. And that's what I like about it. It proves that you can bring something off the street and you do not have to tweak it to make it run, and it does help to make those changes. It does help, but you don't have to.
One of the things that people notice when they take a look at your car are the sponsors on it. The Fox Body Ford Mustang, sponsored by Weatherized Northeast, DMR Seal Coating, and Groovy Jude's. Sponsorship is a big part of auto racing, in drag racing in particular at the higher levels, but how have you been able to find sponsorship in a street class car, and how has it helped you this season?
Well, believe it or not, they came to me, weatherizednortheast.com. John Morrison, he's the owner. He came to me asking, he said, I'd like to get involved in drag racing. He said, you're the first one I thought of that I'd like to sponsor. And I said, John, I just have a street car. It's not really a race car. It's just basically a stock street car. And he says, I don't care. He says, I want to get involved. I want my name going down on the side of a car going down the track. I said, all right. I said, let's do it. He said, what do you need? And I said, the entry fee and the gas, we can get those things taken care of. We'd have a deal. So he said, let's do it. And then he got his wife involved with GroovyJudes.com, and she wanted to come on board. And then Donnie from DMR Seal Coating wanted to give me a hand. Once one decided they wanted to help, then the others just jumped on board.
Having lots of trips to the podium can help keep sponsors invested, right?
Yeah, I mean, I told them at the beginning of the year, I said, I can't guarantee you any wins, I can't guarantee championships, but I said, I can guarantee 100% effort, and, we'll do the best we can for sure. And we've been very fortunate to have some great finishes so far, very fortunate.
And one of the great things about the street class is that anybody can get involved in it. We've seen everything from a lot of Ford Mustangs to smart cars and grocery getters. We see Mike Williams driving a Suburban down the track. For the fans who are watching this right now who might be interested in going drag racing themselves, what's maybe one or two pieces of advice you could give them to find success for a newcomer to drag racing?
I would say probably try to come over and ask somebody that you think has been doing this. If you know anybody, I'd ask them some questions and see if they can give you some pointers or some help. I'm always willing to help anybody that comes over. I try to. If I see somebody that needs help, I'll try to give them a hand with what I can. And but that's a real big thing. The vehicle itself, I mean, that's something that takes time in trying to stage it and find your spot on the tree and where you're placing the vehicle. And it's a time thing. It just takes time.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Jamie. That's Jamie Madison, driver of the Fox Body Ford Mustang in the street class here at Oxford Plains Dragway.